welcome back. We're currently doing some bonding events all over the place, and then we're going to jump into some quests. So let's go speak to Emma here. Hey Emma, what brings you here? Oh, Reen, you wouldn't happen to have seen Celine anywhere, would you? I've been searching all over for her. Celine? That's your cat, isn't it? Well, I wouldn't exactly call her my cat. She was with me just a little while ago, but then she bolted off like something caught her interest. Huh. Haven't seen her around, at least not recently. Well, I probably shouldn't be too worried about it. She's the capricious sort, not unlike Million, I suppose. She must have run off to have a little cat adventure somewhere. Maybe I should help her look for Celine. Yes? How about I help you look for her? After all, 2 pairs of eyes are better than 1, right? Are you sure? Well then, thank you for volunteering. And so the two of them began their search for Celine. They searched high and low, checking areas where Emma felt Celine may be, and relying on Reen's powers of detection. However, no matter how hard they looked on campus, they could find no trace of her. I think we're going to have to start looking in town. But that would take up even more of your time. Don't worry about it, I've got loads of bonding points left. I'll keep looking with you until we find her. Hopefully, she really is in town. I'm fairly confident that she hasn't gone somewhere else at least. But we should still try to find her as soon as we can. Agreed. You seem a lot more worried about her than you let on earlier, though. I guess you were just trying to convince yourself not to panic. Something like that. I do think of her as a friend, after all. Right, let's start looking around. Female student, male student, female student. She's not making this easy. Indeed, just where has she run off to? Celine, could it be? Oh, is that? Celine, so this is where you were. Why did you run off like that all of a sudden? Meow. Is she eating something? Seems like it. Huh. Are these sardines? Sardines? A small, dried fish that usually used in the East, mostly to make broth. Guess cats really like them too. Maybe Mick offered a few and gave her a couple of as a snack. Meow. Phew, you really gave me a fright vanishing like that, Celine. For a moment I thought that those two had... Those two? Nothing, it's nothing. Thank you for helping me, Reen. I don't know what I would have done without you. I'm happy we found her. It wasn't very nice though, Celine. Emma was really worried about you. Celine, there's no need to be rude. Cats will be cats. Celine will be Celine. Just give me a shout if you ever need help with anything else, Emma. Of course. Meow. Your bond with Emma strengthened. Indeed it did. Yes, we'll be back to speak to you in future when we do the rounds. Right, so the gymnasium. Where are we looking here? Probably those 2 dots right in front of us. No. Over there. Oh, alright. Something going on with Monica here. Again, I feel like this is important we speak to these guys because they'll probably change afterwards. Man, I'm too busy focusing on them to get any proper practice in. Come on, Monica, you've got this. Fair enough. At this rate, Monica should actually pull it off today. It'll be awesome to see all of her hard work pay off. I wonder if there's anyone like upstairs. Like overlooking. Haha, you might change. Now that's what I'm talking about. Nothing beats a good swimsuit picture. You better not be taking candid pictures again. No, 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 no. I've got permission this time. Now I can take all the sexy pics I want. I think he's missing the point. Don't worry, I've got permission this time. Now I can take all the sexy pics I want. Oh dear, Rex. Oh. Okay, this is it. I've got it this time. Well, good luck, Monica. Monica has been making great strides with her swimming lately. She may even reach her goal of swimming 50 arch today. Seeing her push herself like that every day makes me proud to be the one who coached her. I'm glad to hear it. She's been back to her usual self ever since our field study in Heimdall. Is something the matter? Nah, everything's fine. Should I try to help her out? Yes. Is there anything I can do to help? I think it'd be great to see her reach her goal, too. You have my thanks. Now then, why don't you go change into your swimsuit? Sure thing. Monica, today is the day you clear your 50 arch goal. Are you prepared? Yeah, I won't let you down, Laura. That's the spirit. Me and your job is to swim alongside her and act as her lead. I'll be observing from the side of the pool. Thanks for helping me out. No problem. And so Monica began her 50 arch challenge. You can carry this through to the end, Monica. I know you can. Come on, you're almost there. Only 3 arch left. 2. 1. She did it. Wait, was that it? Did I do it? You did. You never even had to put your feet down either. Splendid work, Monica. I really did it, Laura. Aww. Monica's hard work had finally paid off, and she cleared her initial goal. Every last member of the swimming club congratulated her on her achievement, even those who didn't believe she could do it. All of her hard work paid off. Thank you for being my assistant today, Reen. It was nothing. I'm just happy to see that things are good between you and Monica again. That makes 2 of us. I've now reconciled with both Monica and Fee, so I believe that I believe that we will continue to grow from here on out. I hope that you and I will be able to keep supporting each other too. You can count on me. Your bond with Laura strengthened. I'm so glad Monica was able to achieve her goal. Thank you for all your help, Reen. So am I. Well done, Monica. I don't even know why I'm so moved. 50 arches isn't particularly amazing or anything. But now that I've done it, I want to take things farther and farther. Aww. The last few months of training were obviously beneficial for Monica, but Laura got something out of it too. Glad to see my instincts were right when I assigned Monica to her. Phew, I was kind of worried for a minute there, but she really did it. Now that's the kind of thing that'll get you motivated. Back to practicing for me. Indeed. Right, let's check in on Rex, see if he did anything through the changing rooms, of course. Don't worry, I've got permission this time. I can take all the sexy pics I want. Nope, not related at all then. Thors 7 Mysteries. Lately, the other girls have been going on about the 7 mysteries of the Academy. I desire this grim knowledge. If you do too, visit the Occult Research Society Club room in the Student Union building. Beryl. Indeed. Welcome to the Occult Research Society. What kind of fortune would you like me to tell you today, Reen of Class 7? Health? Romance? I can even give life advice, if that is what you wish. Sorry, I'm not actually here to get my fortune told. Don't worry. I'm well aware of that. You were sent by the student council, weren't you? You could have at least played along a little, though. You're not much fun. I'm kind of fun. Beryl's a strange one, alright. He's got quite the reputation amongst the girls as an uncannily accurate fortune teller, though. There's something you'd like to ask of me, is there not? Answers are merely a question away. Do you wish to know what kinds of rituals and curses are my favorite, perhaps? That's probably the kind of thing I'm better off not knowing, thanks. Wait. She didn't just read my mind, did she? She couldn't have. So I assume you've been informed about what I want you to do. Yeah, you want me to look into the Academy's 7 mysteries, right? Precisely. The sooner you can start investigating, the better. Are you ready to begin? Go on then. Sure, I'm ready when you are. I know a lot of schools across the country have mysteries like these, but I don't know that Thors had a set all of its own. Well, I'm glad I could give you the good news. They've become a hot topic amongst some of the girls recently. I wouldn't have guessed that. But you said that you wanted me to look into the 7 mysteries. Does that mean you don't know what all of them are? And want me to find out what information you're missing? No, I know the basics of each mystery already. What I'd like to ask you to do is to investigate how credible each one is. I see. Is that something I'll really be able to investigate, though? I mean, if they're supernatural, you can just think of that as part of your investigation. If you can't come to any conclusion, so be it. Either way, to be more specific, I'd like you to talk to the people most likely to know something about each mystery. I could do it myself, but I'm not exactly what you would call a people person. Right, okay, I think I get what you want me to do now. Can you give me a head start by telling me what you know about each of the 7 mysteries, though? I think if I told you everything at once, it might be so much horror to take in that it would stop your heart. So ask me about them one by one, and I'll tell you what I know about each. That sounds like a good way to do it. Alright, leave the investigation to me. Thank you. I look forward to hearing what you discover. Thor's 7 mysteries. Do you wish to hear about the Academy's 7 mysteries? Ask about the first mystery. Ah, the first mystery. The crying sculpture. The sculpture in question rests in the art room. It's used as a reference for sketches. However, if you dare draw near, you can see tear tracks running down his face. Whoa. What's more, the tears return after wiping them away. Rumor has it that tears originate from a human head contained within. Okay, I was on board up until then. That's a little too extreme to believe. You think so too? Even so, these sorts of stories always contain some kernel of truth. Perhaps speaking to the head of the art club will allow you to find it. I'm pretty sure this girl's the head of the art club. Excuse me, could I have a minute of your time? No, I'm busy. But my ears work, so I can listen to whatever you have to say. Go ahead, state your business. Okay. Guess she's going to keep working while I talk. That's pretty impressive. I'm actually looking into the Academy's 7 mysteries, one of which is the art room's crying sculpture. You wouldn't happen to know anything about condensation. Sorry? Like I said, it's condensation. You have no idea how many people have come in to ask about that. They're not tears, just condensation, water vapor in the air, if big words scare you. Who in the right mind would actually believe a sculpture could cry? Guess the world will never run out of idiots. I see. Is that it? Yeah, pretty much. Thank you for the information. It was nothing. Do you wish to hear about the Academy's 7 mysteries? Second mystery. The second mystery is that of the haunted piano. Late one night, a student walking by the music room heard someone playing the piano. Drawn by the sound, she took a peek into the room, only to find it empty. Well, the name certainly fits. They claim it's a music-loving ghost playing the piano in there. A ghost who likes music. That's all. Seems a bit lazy to me. Agreed. At least give the ghost some elaborate, tragic backstory to explain its connection to the piano. Regardless, perhaps you could learn more from the head of the wind orchestra. I believe his name was Bell? I think this is Bell from the wind orchestra. Oh, hey, what's up? I have a quick question for you. I'm trying to investigate the 7 mysteries of the Academy. What have you heard about the haunted piano? Oh, that story. That's the one about the ghost playing the piano in the empty room, isn't it? Oh, so you do know it. What can you tell me about it? So you want to know the truth, huh? As it turns out, the ghost was me all along. Whoa, really? Yes, I died when I broke my arm. But don't tell the others, though. It'll be our little secret. Okay, calm down. I don't mean that I'm actually a ghost. The rumor started spreading because someone heard noises in what they thought was an empty room, but I'm pretty sure they just stumbled along when I was tuning the piano. Really? Yeah, it's not exactly rare to end up totally obscured from view when you're tuning certain parts of it. Chances are that whoever heard that at the time just couldn't see me. So basically I'm your so-called ghost. That makes sense. Right? Sorry though. You're probably hoping for something a bit more exciting. Not at all. You told me just what I needed to hear. Beryl might not be thrilled though. Thanks for your time. Not a problem. Third mystery. Thirdly, we have the mystery of the Forbidden Tome. Now, this one is interesting. Apparently, the Academy's library houses a book containing one of the world's greatest secrets. The book is passed down from one library head to the next, all of whom are tasked with keeping it safe from prying eyes. You weren't kidding. This one is pretty interesting. Pleases me to know that I have a partner in fascination. Just imagine it. If it was something about the fall of the ancient Sumerian civilization. Alright, Beryl. How romantic. The person currently in charge of the library is Instructor Thomas. He's likely the only person who knows for sure. Green, my boy. What sorts of questions has your inquiring mind come up with today? As it so happens, I'm looking for something for a fellow student. Do you know anything about a forbidden tome supposedly locked away in this library? A forbidden tome? My, what a fascinating idea. Just imagine if it contained details on the sacraments of the ancient Sumerian civilization. Or perhaps it could be a grimoire written by a cross-bearing alchemist of the Middle Ages. Wouldn't it be thrilling if one of them really existed? Second one, yeah. Yeah, it sure would. In other words, it doesn't. What exactly inspired you to ask about this imaginary tome? Well, I'm investigating the 7 mysteries of the Academy, and one of them has to do with a book, one of the world's greatest secrets hidden deep within this library. Ah, so that's what this is all about. This year's story is even more absurd than the one I heard last year, but I do believe I know what you're talking about. You do? The tome the story refers to is in fact a volume of, how shall I put this, gentleman's special interest literature. Seriously? At least the forbidden part is right. Not because it's dangerous or anything, but because it's rather naughty. We tell you boys time after time not to bring those sorts of things into the Academy, but somebody always has to try. Well, boys will be boys, I suppose. This little tale started because we gather the contraband here before we dispose of it. Well, that's one way to do things. So if you happen to have a prized collection of your own, make sure to leave it under your mattress back home. Unless you want me to find it and share what you're into with Instructor Sarah and the rest of the Academy. I have no idea what you're talking about. Well, anyway, there's nothing especially unusual or mysterious about this library, I'm afraid. You have made that abundantly clear. Thank you for your time, Instructor. 4th mystery. The 4th mystery tells of the hidden graves. This legend dates back 250 years. It's said that many who died in the War of the Lions lie buried beneath this academy. More specifically, their bodies are buried directly below what is now the field. Whoa. Is there more to this story? Oh, there most certainly is. They say that on some cursed nights the corpses of the buried rise from their graves to bathe in the moonlight. And when they do, their long-hidden graves surface from the field, overturning it and leaving holes. Moles. Well, that explains why this mystery is called the Hidden Graves, at least. But honestly, I was kind of expecting the mystery to be a little creepier. You must be getting used to these macabre mysteries. Good. Wait, what do you mean by good? Regardless, the best people to ask about the field would be the members of the riding club. I believe the club's Captain Lambert is home for the summer. Perhaps you should ask Paula instead. You're Reen from Eusis's class, right? That's right. And you're Paula from Class 5, I assume. This might sound weird, but I'm currently looking into these mysteries surrounding the school. Have you heard the rumor they're calling the Hidden Graves? I have. That's the one about the dead rising from their graves on the field, right? Lambert and I found the hole in the field a while back. The only thing to come out of that was an exam with a bad grade. Seriously? Yep, seems like someone couldn't deal with getting a score that bad. They tried to put their test 6 rage under. They didn't even bury it, though, just dug a hole and tossed it in. They filled it up since someone could have tripped. But with a grade like that, you could say the only grave our culprit dug was his own. Yeah, that joke was so bad I can't even force myself to laugh. That aside, thanks for the info. That was a big help. 5th mystery. The sports club grudge is the topic of the 5th mystery. Given how hard the sports clubs train, it's not uncommon to hear screaming coming from their general direction. But some say that screams can be heard coming from something else, dwelling in the gymnasium. The rumors say that those screams are a grudge of sorts, a manifestation of all the stresses sports club members face. This one seems a bit backwards to me. Working up a sweat should wash away your stress, not make a monster out of them. Only a select few would share that sentiment. Such ignorance of others' feelings might just lead you to an unfortunate end. Right. No matter. It may be wise to ask the captain of the fencing club for further details on this matter. I think her name is Friedel? I think she's the captain of the fencing club, right? Sorry to bother you, but could I ask you a question? No bother at all, ask away. As it so happens, I'm looking into the 7 mysteries of the academy. Have you heard of the sports club's grudge? Oh, sure. People have been talking about it since I was a first year. Although I don't suppose it will gain much traction next year. Why is that? It's pretty simple, really. Those screams don't come from people, but the daughter that used to be here. It had been in a bad condition for years and used to make these awful screeching noises. So I asked for a replacement at the beginning of the month. Now everything is nice and quiet around here. Well, that explains that. Thanks for the information. You're very welcome. 6th mystery. Oh my, the 6th mystery surrounds the Crimson Devil of the Lake. Have you paid much mind to the pond beside the gymnasium? Some say that it has a direct connection to hell itself. More amazingly, they say a resident of hell, the Crimson Devil, shows up at the pond from time to time. Well, that's certainly something. Any word on what it looks like? Sadly, the only descriptor I've heard is that it has 2 massive claws. It might be best to ask someone who fishes there more often, if you wish to know more about this mystery. Do you know Kenneth? He's a first year in the Imperial Fishing Club. He's a noble, though he acts as though he's not. Nevertheless, he is the club's head. Perhaps he knows something. Hey, Reen. Still still fishing the good fish. I don't think that's how the saying goes, but I guess you could say that. There's actually something I was hoping to ask you about. Does the Crimson Devil of Lake Hell ring any bells? That's one of the Academy's 7 big mysteries, right? It's the only one I know, at least. Seriously, though, did anyone really believe this place was connected to hell? Probably not. I do. Fishing is hell. Any idea what the Crimson Devil part's all about, though? Oh, it's probably a crayfish. You see them around here every so often. That must be it. What's a crayfish? Red thing. Kinda looks like a crab. It even has 2 big claws, just like the devil's supposed to. I wouldn't be surprised if a crayfish inspired the whole thing. Yeah, especially when you put it like that. Thanks, Kenneth. 7th mystery. The 7th and final mystery is that the poltergeist in the upper class dormitory. To be frank, Beryl, I have very little information about this one. But it seems as though furniture, cutlery, and the like are often found broken in the upper class dormitory. And people are saying a poltergeist is responsible? So it seems. Considering the mess it seems to be making, I can only imagine that the dormitory's maids would know something. Perhaps you should ask them for information. I can't think of a better person to ask about the upper class dorm. Excuse me, would you mind if I asked you a question? Of course not. How can I help you? So, I'm investigating the 7 mysteries of the Academy. There's one story about a poltergeist in this dorm, but would you know if there's any truth to it? I do, in fact. Some of the more experienced maids told me all about it. I've even seen it for myself. You've actually seen the poltergeist? Oh, not quite. There was a much simpler explanation behind all the havoc. As the story goes, plates are broken and utensils strewn about the kitchen, correct? But these things happen when girls try their hands at cooking for the first time. The kitchen can get very chaotic. This tends to hit its peak in May when more of them want to practice for their cooking classes. But I think a poltergeist makes for a far more interesting culprit when people are sharing stories. That explains it. Thanks for clearing everything up. I'm glad I could be of help. And that's the 7 mysteries elucidated. In the end, none of them turned out as spooky as I'd hoped, but, well, I hope Beryl won't be too disappointed. Looks like you've finished your investigation. Can you tell me what you've learned? Sure, let me go through them one by one. Green told Beryl the truth about each one of the 7 mysteries. I see. Condensations, magazines, a test. None of these are supernatural at all. Honestly, didn't expect any of them to be real, but the truth is even more pathetic than I thought it'd be. I agree. Although it's kind of interesting that people were able to make such fantastical stories out of perfectly ordinary things. I suppose that's true. Still, I'd like to thank you for looking into everything for me. So here you go. It's something hexed with one of my favorite curses. Nightmare. Thanks. To tell you the truth, I'm a little surprised none of the mysteries had anything to do with the old schoolhouse. Seems like the perfect setting for a ghost story. I wonder why it didn't come up. I mean, we already know there are strange monsters in there. What are you talking about? Of course it comes up, in the real 7 mysteries at least. What? Could you say that again? I couldn't quite make that out. I didn't say a word. Perhaps your investigation has gotten to you. I could have sworn I heard her say something about the real 7 mysteries. Oh well, it's probably a better idea not to get into it. Hello, Ring Schwarzer speaking! It's Sarah. Are you knocking out those requests for the student council? Yeah, I've made my way through several of them now, and I'm just getting started on the rest. Nice, I've got something to talk to you about, so come along to the faculty lounge when you can. I'm not going to take it out on your grades if you don't show or anything. It's just a personal thing. Later. Didn't even wait to hear my response. Oh well, I suppose I should go meet with her in the faculty lounge when I get a chance. Yes, let's speak to Beryl before we do that though. Thank you for agreeing to help me today. It was very enlightening. Part of me is curious about what she meant by the real 7 mysteries, but the rest of me would rather not know. Indeed. Indeed. But anyway, we're going to end this part here. In the next part, we'll go see about talking to Instructor Sarah and seeing what she wants. Because it'll be another quest. I know that much. No female student around. How bizarre. But then after that, I think it'll be the rounds. I think that's the point we're at. So it's a quest, then the rounds, and then, you know, Old Schoolhouse theory. Again, if you're following along, you know this stuff. I don't know why I'm bothering telling you. It's very strange. See you in the next part. Ta-da for now. What is that I'm doing?